Hey YouTube, it's Emanuel from Tech Insomnia, and today I'm going to be showing you how to gift wrap an iPhone to give as a gift for any occasion and how to do it in a way that it will literally turn out perfect every time. And this can be applied to gift wrapping in general on any model iPhone, any type of package that has square dimensions. First thing you're going to want to do is choose your wrapping paper. And when you do, you're going to want to cut it to a length where if you look from the edges here where we're going to be folding the wrapping paper after it's wrapped around, we want to make sure that the length of this wrapping paper doesn't exceed too far over this edge right here. So you can see on both sides of the wrapping paper, we've got it to a point where if I center it right here, the wrapping paper comes up. It's slightly overlapping here, but that's not a huge deal. You want to get it as close as possible to where the edges are right here so that once we wrap it over, we can fold. Now, when it comes to the tape, you could choose two different types of tape. Now, there's the normal Scotch tape, which is a little bit kind of almost cloudy in a sense, but I always like to use clear tape because this is going to give us more of a seamless appearance at the end, and we're going to try to use as little tape as possible when wrapping this iPhone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a tiny little bit of clear tape. I'm going to tape the edge right here. Now I'm going to center the iPhone. I'm going to try and get this as close to the side as possible while maintaining that even space that we discussed earlier. So I'm going to just wrap this around. Now that's going to give me a little bit of leverage so that when I push on, I get a perfect edge right here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come over here and I'm just going to slightly just fold the edge. And I'm going to try and get it as straight as possible so that it's a straight fold. See? Just like that. Okay, now that's going to give me a clean edge and appearance once I wrap it around. So now what I do is, while pushing, so that we get a nice seal around, I'm going to fold it over. And then while putting a little bit of pressure as well to keep it tight, I'm just going to fold it over like that. And then I can kind of fix my crease a little bit. Sometimes it helps to pre-cut little slices of the tape itself so that way it's ready, so that when you're ready to apply the tape, you have cuts that are pre-cut. So if I'm applying a little bit of pressure here, I fold over and make sure I got a great crease. And then just one little piece of tape like that is going to hold it in place. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to come over here to the side. And because we evenly prepared the edges, we don't need to cut now that we're literally ready to just fold. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with this side. I'm going to push this side down like so from the corner. And what you can do is you can kind of run your finger like this to give it the perfect crease. And now what I'll do is I'll just straighten this edge. I'll do the same on the other side as well. So while holding, I just kind of push my finger in to make a perfect straight edge like that. Now from here, once we have those two straight edges, with my fingers here on the edge, I'm going to fold this over like so. See what I did there? And then I'm going to kind of just straighten these out so that the crease stays and my fold stays intact, just like that. Now, once that's done, what I can do is I can just look here, and I'm going to try my best to get a very straight fold. So what I want to do is I want to fold it so that it's an even straight crease that matches this angle. So while pushing a little bit on, now the beautiful thing is because we taped that piece of tape on the inside, the iPhone is not moving inside the wrapping paper, which is great. So now that I've got my crease, take a little piece of tape again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it over like that. See? Those creases gave me a perfect fold to just kind of fold over like so. And then what I'll do is I'll just place my piece of tape as close as I can. And then that edge or side is perfectly done. And we're going to repeat the process on the other side. So same thing, fold down from here, hold the edge, one finger down like that, and create that crease. So it's a perfect corner, okay, while pushing down. Now we'll come over and do the same thing on the other side. One finger into the corner, and then create that perfect crease again. Okay? So that's, somewhat what it should look like. And then we're going to go ahead and with our fingers push down and create that straight edge crease again, once again. So, pretty good. It takes time and practice. Obviously, you'll get better at it the more you do it. So just be patient with yourself. And if you feel like you didn't get it right the first time, just be patient and maybe start over again. Try to get those creases as straight as you can. So you see how I've now folded that perfect crease right there and it's straight. Now what's really working in our favor is the fact that I pre-cut those ends so we don't have access over here to deal with. So it actually makes it a lot easier. You see, like if I didn't pre-cut that, this would be now folding over and then making it harder for me to come up with that perfect edge. So got that straight. Take a little piece of tape and then the exact same thing that we did before. Okay. Fingers holding down, fold over. Perfect. And you can kind of you'll get better at it with time, but you can kind of just push that in and then pull a little bit. So now that's perfect. Okay. I'm just going to put my piece of tape there to hold it in place. And that's it. Perfectly wrapped on both sides. Obviously, this is the top and this is the bottom. Now, this edge right here is kind of a little bit off to the side, which I feel like it gives it a flatter, but you could aim for the middle. It doesn't really matter where it ends up as long as it ends up on the bottom so that when you present the package, it's very clean and very presentable in the manner that it is. Now, this package is ready. You could go ahead and gift it like this, or we could add some ribbon to it to kind of jazz it up a little bit, make it a little bit more presentable. Now, if you wanted to gift it just as is, you could go ahead and tape a card or a label here with the person's name, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Happy Anniversary, something like that. But I always like to add ribbon, so we're going to go ahead and show you how to do that right now. Now, if you want to use ribbon, there's a lot of different options. You can go with red, you can go with white, you can double it up. You can use 2 white, 2 red, or red and white. For the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to use white just because the contrast in comparison to the wrapping paper that we chose is going to give it a really nice look, and it's going to kind of stand out a little bit. So we're going to go with just white. Now, the best thing to do when measuring is based on the package. If it's a smaller package like this, I'll do 2 arms length. So basically, I'll extend my left and right arm as wide as I can, and then basically measure out the distance. So, this is going to be more than enough to wrap this package. And then what we'll do is we'll take both ends, like so, and just put them in the same place like this. And now we're going to find the middle, which is right here. So we're going to start from here. You can start either by length or width of the package. Depends how you want to go about it. We'll do width this time. So from the center, as close as I can, getting it to the center. I'm going to measure it out like that. and flip over the package. Now, using my fingers, I'm going to twist at the point where I think the center is here, and then just pull that ribbon through like so. Now, I want to maintain pressure on the actual ribbon itself so that when I go to fold it over like so, it's a nice tight wrap around the entire package. So you see I've got it there in the center. I'll grip it from the sides like that, flip over the package. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. Basically, grab the two while maintaining pressure, twist it around, okay? And then before I make any knot or any loop around the current ribbon, I'm just going to look that the back is in fact in the center. And a really good thing to do also, great tip, is before you actually apply pressure, if you see that your wrapping paper is kind of creasing up here at the end like that was, I'm going to go ahead and before I give it the total pressure, I'll just kind of straighten that out with my finger. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but as good as you can get it, right? So before we tie this knot, we'll just look around. We'll make sure it's in the center. It's perfectly in the center. Perfect. You can actually loop it around again. So we've got it there in the center. Let's twist it around again. Now that's going to stay tight a lot easier than just the single loop. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and create the knot. One finger always on the point until the knot is completely to my finger. So you see right there, my finger is still holding. And then while maintaining pressure, I'll just move my finger out of the way. And there we got a perfectly centered knot. Now to keep this in place, I mean, you can go ahead and just take the end of the ribbon and then loop it under like that, right? And then kind of tie this off. So that'll give you a nice effect there. And then you can go ahead and do the same thing with the other side. So just loop it right under, through itself, create that aspect of the knot, and just pull. Okay. Now that we've got both sides looped, we'll just create one more knot. So now that you've got it looped and basically tied off, you can either cut more ribbon or cut some of the ribbon that you already have if you have an extended amount. I'm going to leave this and I'm just going to cut a little bit more, and we're going to make a really, really nice effect doing so. So I'll cut one more, and then let's cut one more strip. Let's make this one a little bit longer. Okay, so perfect. And what I'll do now is I'm just going to kind of loop around from here, get these to the same length, and then create another knot. So now my knot is, the ribbon that's coming out is heading in the opposite direction of the original. And we'll do the exact same thing here one more time on the opposite angle, okay? We'll measure it so that we're at the even point, so both of these are matched, and we'll create another knot. Now this knot, I'm going to try and get this knot as flat as possible because this is going to be the last knot created, and this will be what shows the most. So I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, not too bad. Now, what I'll do now is I'll take the edge of my scissors, and while creating a little bit more of an, more than 90, I would say a little bit more of an angle, try to get as close to the end as you can and twist. And then while twisting, put your thumb, okay? And now while creating even more of an angle, you're gonna just pull on that twist like so, okay? And that's gonna give us a nice circular gift wrapped appearance. So once again, as close to the bottom as possible. That one turned out really nice. Okay, and we'll go ahead. We don't have to do it to all of them. I mean, you can leave, what I like to do is I like to leave 2 of them just straight so that not all of them are actually bent, not all of them are curled. But I mean, you could curl all of them. It's completely up to you. So go ahead and do that one. So I've got this one straight, and we'll go ahead and we'll give this one a little bit of curl. Now, depending on how much pressure and the angle of the scissors will determine the intensity of the curl, right? So if you put pressure at the end, it'll curl more at the actual end. There you have it. And this is really nice because you can stick a card now in there. You could present it like this, and we can see from the back, it's evenly aligned. It's just a nice presentation for gifting any iPhone to anybody on any occasion. Hope you guys found value. Hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned for more tutorials to come in the future. Really appreciate all the support. Happy holidays and stay safe out there, guys. Take care. This comes from my grandma, who was the gift wrapping master. Okay. And she passed on the skill to my mom, and she passed it on to me. Okay, we kind of messed up there a little bit. So let's try that again. Just be patient. It's okay. If you don't get it the first time, it's okay. We'll loop this around.